Is Christ consciousness just a mythical concept only for ancient text or spiritual dogma? Or is it the most potent practical roadmap to unlocking the bounteous power that resides within you right now? Many speak of ascension or divine connection, but very few understand the true, actionable mechanics of activating the God force within. They're missing the whole operating system. Like, you can't drive a car, any kind of vehicle without an engine. You're not going to be getting anywhere. It might be a nice car, nice shell, nice seats, nice on the inside, but it ain't running. It's not operating. So today, we're going to peel back the layers of how to reveal the Christ consciousness and how to activate it. It's not through external seeking and thinking that some God in the sky is going to come and save you, or the Anunnaki or anybody else is responsible for your own consciousness. We're going to learn how to master our consciousness through ancient wisdom that was left over 6,000 years ago through the universal laws, the Hermetic principles. And what I love about these laws is that they cannot be changed or manipulated by man. Like the law of gravity, for example. Like what goes up must come down. This is law. And as long as you're on this earth, you are governed by these particular universal laws. If you all don't know me, if this is your first time meeting me, I am Satra Anuket, and my purpose is to reconnect you to your innate and your sovereign power. So let's get into it. Let's demystify the concept of Christ consciousness. This isn't about religion or dogma. Let's start that first. It's about universal truth. It's the I am that is within you. It is the individualized part of God that resides in your very being. An ancient text states, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son," meaning God placed himself inside the individualized man. The all-perfect, all-knowing, powerful essence of God is directly inside of us, and nothing can separate us from that. Consciousness. You are the altar, your body, your mind, your spirit. This is the living temple that we speak of. Christ consciousness is simply the state of awareness of your being, of the God that is connected to you within you. It is the awareness of your supreme intelligence. It is the highest frequency of knowing your God self. It's all inherent and it's all innate within you. It's your divine blueprint waiting to be activated. The word that was with God, that was God, is thought, consciousness, and that consciousness is inside of us. Now, if Christ consciousness is this bounteous power, the innate divinity, then the universal laws are the precise mechanics. They are the ways in which you can begin to get your engine to start running. It is the infallible operating system in which this power manifests, and it's how God acts and moves through and in man. You can have the most powerful engine in the world, but without an understanding of how to start and engage the engine and engage the gears, you're not going to get anywhere. You don't even know how the pedals work or how to turn the car on. So what's the point in having this expensive vehicle if you don't know how to turn the engine on? Many seek to manifest. This is the same way that a lot of people seek to manifest. They just think that they just kind of blindly are just shooting and aiming. They seek spiritual awakening, but they bypass all of these fundamental laws that govern all of creation. This is why many people remain stuck in cycles of struggle, of confusion, and feeling disconnected from the very power that they yearn for. Mastering these laws is not optional. It is the path to fully embodying your Christ consciousness and truly creating the reality in which you seek, because the kingdom of heaven is within you, within the consciousness, the firm mentality, the firmament of your mind. I want to begin with the bedrock of the laws, of these universal laws. And it starts with the law is mentalism. And the law of mentalism states, many of you heard this before, that all is the mind, the entire universe is mental, that this universe is a living and breathing consciousness. And that consciousness is the only reality, because the mind is the ultimate constructor of reality. Consciousness is the ultimate constructor of reality. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We skip over that and realizing, well, what is the Word? The Word is your consciousness. It's the creator. It's the temple of God. So we have to think, what thoughts am I going to allow into my sacred space? To this day, which day, whom shall I serve? Am I going to serve the divine nature of me, or am I going to serve the lower frequency part of me? Are they thoughts that reflect my Christ consciousness, the thoughts of abundance and peace and love and prosperity? Are they like the Pharisees and they focus on lack and judgment and fear? Because truth be told, we are the original intelligence, the greatest supercomputer, not artificial intelligence, but actual original intelligence. So what are we feeding our supercomputer? What kind of input and data are we entering in so that we can get out? Because directly tied to the law of mentalism is the law of vibration, the second universal law. And it states that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So your Christ consciousness, your thoughts vibrate on what frequency? When your thoughts and your feelings and your inner state align with the frequency that you're trying to resonate within your divine self. But on the other hand, if your deepest, most authentic thoughts align with, I'm not enough, I can't do it, no matter what I do, and no matter what I try to say, if you're chasing all of these fretful thoughts and these feelings, no matter what you attempt to do in the physical world, you cannot frequency. So you're going to continue to experience that in your reality, because your cells don't lie. Your energy field doesn't lie. That inner wobble that you feel, that is a signal of misalignment. That anxiety that you feel, that is your signal of misalignment. That nervousness that you feel, that it is your signal. It is your cells screaming at you, letting you know that you are out of your own vibrational alignment. You are not even within your own homeostasis, because your emotions and your feelings gauge which state you're actually in. And when you have a feeling, that feeling actually permeates throughout your entire body, which brings us to the next profound law, the law of correspondence, because as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. This is the mirror that we get to see. Your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world, your inner self-consciousness. That permeation of those vibrating thoughts that are coming out, whatever that vibration is going to come out. So if you're judging yourself, you're going to experience more judgment. If you're holding on to feelings of unworthiness and not enoughness, then you're agreeing with that. And law says it must produce in your outer reality. When people say the subconscious is no respecter of person, it is a respecter of your feeling inner nature only. It is the conversation that you have within yourself, to yourself, about yourself. This is really our only limitation, because you get exactly what you believe. As a man thinks, so is he. So whatever your inner world is, you will sow that into your outer reality. As within, so without means that your inner consciousness must eventually express itself through your outward experience. This is law. I cannot emphasize this enough. Because when your temple of God, being that you are the altar, that you are God manifested in the flesh, the only begotten idea of God in this experience, this individualized experience within this suit, this flesh that we're in. And so when it is only filled with the word of God, where God's thoughts are your thoughts, this is actually Christ consciousness in action, when you're only choosing to correspond and tune into with the God in you. Because you have a choice, you got free will, you can tune into something else if you want to. But this Christ consciousness is a continuous process of being. Every day you've got to wake up to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's a conditioning, because your mind is a muscle and you always have to condition your muscle to stay in shape. So when you are in situations, you've got to change your perspective. This is the transformation of the renewing of your mind daily. When you look at a situation and you can look at the blessing of it, and say, okay, I learned this, I appreciate that, and I value that this is what I've gained from it, because I'm now stronger in this particular area of my life. Not the burden of it or what appears to be chaos, because what I embody within my feeling frequency is my reality must correspond with it. like let's really take a moment and think into ourselves and ask, what is one persistent challenge that I'm having right now that I can get a glimpse of, and for the first time actually realize what my thoughts are about this problem? Am I struggling for finances and all I'm thinking about is lack? Do my thoughts of finances reflect a scarcity mindset? Or am I embodying abundance? Am I thinking about wealth? Am I begrudgingly paying my bills and feeling like I'm not going to have enough? Or am I glad that I have enough money in my bank account to pay for the bills? This is what a lot of people say, maintain an attitude of gratitude, but this is actually putting it into action. So we're going to bring our awareness to what kind of thoughts we have right now about whatever this problem is in our life, and realize that we can change our perspective about that very thing. This is being God in action. Now on to the next powerful duo, the law of polarity and the law of cause and effect. The law of polarity states that while everything has its opposite, they exist on the same spectrum. Like if you were to see a ruler, right? Everything is on, all the numbers are on the same spectrum. It would be at 0. We had a ruler like a 12, 0 to 12, right? So what part of the ruler are you identifying with? Because it's all the same ruler, basically. So I'm going to choose to go down which direction of the ruler. It's up to you. This is what Neville Goddard talked about a lot, or other scholars, when they say, I meet no one but me. Because I'm only meeting myself along this plane. There's nothing else here. It's all in the same existence, on the same plane. So when I identify with 0, which is lack, fear, doubt, victimhood, I'm constantly choosing that side of the plane. But when I possess the free will to know that I can choose to go up to a positive higher number, to a positive higher frequency, I am on the pole of Christ consciousness, because I've sacrificed my lower nature to the cross, and I moved it from negative to positive, to the pole of abundance, to courage and sovereignty. Same pole, different planes. Same existence, different planes of existence. Heaven or hell, the choice is yours. The choice that we make directly impacts our next law, the law of cause and effect. They want effects, some cause and effects. They want effects. What you put out comes back to you. The law of karma is basically the law of cause and effect, because your current reality is a direct result of your thought cause. cause is thought. Thought is the only cause there is. And the effects are the effects of that particular thought. Your state of consciousness is the only cause. And this isn't a punishment, because it's like, what you mean I'm to blame? A lot of people get defensive. This really means that you are empowered. This means that you are a powerful being. This means that you are the solution. Soul train. You are the solution. Nothing has power over you without your consciousness or your unconscious permission. Like a vampire can't come in unless you invite it in. Nothing has power over you unless you give it power over you. I know the comedian Cat Williams was making a joke about self-esteem. He was like, it's called self-esteem. Esteem of yourself. But it's true. Like, it's a self-inside job. So activating Christ consciousness means that you are fully accepting your role as a deliberate cause in your life, not just the effect of your external circumstances. You are the king of your own dome. You are the king of your own consciousness. Your visual effects are just the results of your vibratory causes that all come from within you, not without you. Knowing this really it should empower us to demonstrate the good that we desire, because we are the cause. And finally, let's explore the law of rhythm and the law of gender. The law of rhythm reminds us that everything has its ties, everything has its highs, everything has its lows. That life is not linear, time is not linear. It is a cyclical dance. In this life, you will have trials and tribulations, but fear not, for I have already conquered the world. Because your Christ consciousness has already conquered it, because for every problem, there is a solution. But what side of the pole are you looking at? Are you looking at the problem, or are you focusing on the solution? And this really isn't about like gaslighting or manipulating yourself. You're not going to avoid the down season of what you're in, but it's about knowing on what to do when you're in the ebbs of life. It's about learning how to maintain balance and utilizing that time to regulate your energy, to understand that you need to have an umbrella on rainy days. This law really teaches you how to ride the wave and not just to be tossed around by the ocean and the currents. It's about understanding our personal energetic climate, learning when to push, learning when to rest, and learning when to be neutral, and honoring your internal rhythms and the systems within you and without you, within nature as well. And the law of gender speaks to the very act of manifestation as divine pregnancy. Every seed, every intention, everything in nature has a gestation period. Every thought and idea has a process of development and growth. And we have to balance our masculine and our feminine. Our masculine is our focused, deliberate energy, while our feminine energy is our receptive and our nurturing side. So we have to learn how to be receptive and relaxed in our feminine space and allow things to incubate and grow, instead of being in our masculine space thinking that we got to do and dig things up every time we don't see any progress. This is allowing ourselves to truly trust and know that everything is growing underneath the surface. It's like a pregnant mother is just preparing for the arrival and the birth of her baby. She knows that eventually she's going to give birth. There's not a question or doubt in her mind that she's pregnant with something amazing. And we give birth to so many things besides babies. The law of gender lets us know, and even nature lets us know, that birth and abundance is all around us. This particular law is where the word is made flesh within us. This is the immaculate conception of our desires, born from the sacred union of your conscious and subconscious minds. Cultivate an intimate, loving relationship within yourself. It's knowing that you can't rush the watermelon to grow, but you can tend to the soil and watch it grow and allow it and know that it's going to. And if we think about these last two laws, what is one way that you can commit to honoring your natural rhythm more this week? Or one intention that you have to nurture with patience, an idea that you've been working on to trust and believe that it's going to come into your outer reality, and feed it with nourishing thoughts and loving thoughts rather than doubt and second guessing yourself. Let's commit to that internal and intentional flow. So I can't leave without sharing some stuff with y'all. This is just the way that I do. I believe in talking, sharing practical wisdom, but also giving you the tools to practice. So how do we actively bring these laws into our daily lives and fully activate our Christ consciousness within? It comes down to diligent obedience and consistent embodied practice. Yes, it's an everyday thing. There's no way getting around it. And we have 70,000 thoughts per day. So you're going to be thinking and doing something with your mind anyway. So the thought of actually doing the right thing with our thoughts should be exciting. So here are 5 things. Number 1, consciousness, thought governance. It's mentalism. Make a profound decision that your mind is a sacred temple. You are the gatekeeper. Every thought that enters, every thought that you entertain must align with your Christ consciousness. Cast out anything that is short-changing you. This is where you become the Neo in the Matrix, dodging bullets of negativity. 2, become the frequency, become the law of vibration and correspondence. You want peace? Become peace. You want abundance? Embody abundance. Embody generosity and trust and creative flow. Don't just say the words, actually feel the frequency down in your bones to the very core of you. Whatever that is, live and embody and act it out. Because your internal world must reflect the truth that you seek in order for it to be manifested into your external reality. Number 3, radical responsibility. It's the law of cause and effect. They want effects, some cause effects. Stop giving power to external circumstances. Stop giving power to your ex. Stop giving power to that job, that employer, that person, your mama, your daddy, your granny, whoever did it. Stop giving them power. You are the cause of your reality. I don't care what happened in the past. We're talking about right now. Right now, what can you do to live the reality that you want? Therefore, you are the solution. This empowers you to make different choices, to change your inner state, to let all that go and say, you know what? This is no longer what I'm choosing to believe, feel, and think. And I'm going to change it into my outer reality. Even if I got to remind myself, nope, I'm not doing that. Come back over here. This is how I want to think. This is how I want to feel. What does this look like? Because I understand that I am the cause and the effect of my reality, and nothing has power over me without my permission. So I take my permission away. I resent my invitation to this. You may have had access to me before, thoughts, person, place, thing, but y'all ain't got access to me now. Sorry. 4, honor your season with compassion and grace. We live in a society where it's like everything is fast. Everything has to be right. Otherwise, we're doing wrong. And all that is doing is increasing our cortisol levels and increasing inflammation and causing us to stay in this repeated loop and cycle. God gives us grace. And who are we to not even give ourselves grace? So understand that our progress is not linear. There will be ebbs and there will be flows as the law of rhythm goes. And there's also going to be gestational periods of rest because the subconscious, the creator, does not work in linear time. It does not work in the human concept of time. So we have to trust, we have to rest and relax and know that it is being birthed, that there is something happening underneath the soil there's something happening that we can't see. Those roots are growing. And eventually something will sprout, something will be born. But my only job is to nurture my desires without worrying about the how or the when, because I am just allowing myself to be blown like the wind if I'm focusing on when it's going to happen. I'm allowing nature. I'm allowing a higher power that operates way beyond what I can think of and fathom to work. And my only job is to nurture. I'm allowing nature to nature, and I'm allowing nurture to nurture. 5. Inner stillness and sacred alignment. Spend time in quiet communion with your inner Christ. Be still and know that I am God. I highly encourage you to spend 2 days in complete silence. No cell phones, no TVs, no radio. If you don't have 2 days that you can take in complete silence, however long you can get, practice extending the time where you are just silent, sitting with yourself. No social media, no music, you, yourself, nature, and God. Because this is where you hear your true guidance. After you kind of silence your mind and all the noise, this is why I say a couple of days. Because that first day you might be like, and it might take you a moment to settle into the space where you can really, really deepen your self-consciousness and open your inner ear to hear what it is that your soul, the Christ within you has been trying to tell you for so long, but you've been so busy and so preoccupied and so type A and so do that you can't even hear your own self. Your contract is to only agree with the good of God that is within you. Don't sign the other contract, because the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Your highest purpose is to agree with the highest good. And I know that this is difficult. I remember a time where I was in deep financial scarcity. I was wanting to do all these things, but my bank account was screaming like, girl, please. But my inner voice, my Christ conscious voice said, provision, God got me. I ain't got to worry about this. I am abundant. Abundance is my birthright. So I consciously applied the law of mentalism. I consciously brought my thoughts back to my abundance, trusting the law of gender, knowing that the seed of my desires, they just need time to germinate. I'm not broke. I'm replenishing my abundance right now. I changed my whole perspective in what I allowed to come out of my mouth. I wasn't pretending that I had money. I didn't fake it. But it was about the embodiment and the feeling of provision, of acting from that space of abundance, because there were still things that I could be grateful for. There was still abundance all around me. By having my faculties and being able to walk and get on my bike and to eat and have food and whatever it was, that was still a sign of abundance, because somebody else may not have woken up that day. Somebody else didn't have use of their legs. Somebody didn't have use of their eyes. Somebody doesn't have use of their mouth. So I am abundant in so many other ways than a number in my bank account. Let me focus on that. Let me bring this dial back to that, because like attracts like. And if I want to attract wealth, I can't be in a space of scarcity, because that's a lower frequency. Then I'm not going to be able to attract the wealth that it is that I want. It's really about embodying the feeling of provision and acting from that space. It's not magic, it's mastery of the laws. And today I know I went a little deep in igniting the spark of Christ consciousness. I laid the bare foundation of the universal laws and how they govern us and everything in entire existence. And you've experienced a glimpse of it. But to really, really understand the laws is to practice it daily and to allow yourself to meditate on and become and develop an awareness of being. So practice these 5 steps. Thank you so much for showing up for your truth and for leaning into your divine power. Always remember, you are fashioned from the same intelligence of God. You are one with the intelligence of God. The kingdom of heaven is within inside of you. Learn how to turn your gaze inward. Allow your Christ consciousness to be the very current that illuminates your life. There is no need to look at external leaders as if they possess something that you lack, because you are the seed and a seed has everything that it needs. I'm simply sharing the universal laws with you and how to unlock your own divine power. Don't take my word for it. Experience it for yourself. Until we meet again, may you stay steadfast and keep your rhythm gracefully. Trust in the flow. Honor the divine creator that is within you, and you will be able to manifest your divine inheritance. So shall it be. Until next time, y'all, peace out. Be well.